Hello again. Well, it looks like lockdown is starting to be lifted a bit, and a few things are starting to return to normal. Or at least starting, even if they don't quite look normal. Wearing masks, having one way systems around garden centres, waiting in the aisles for people to move off, turning a corner and realising there's someone standing right there. So you quickly sidestep, and contactless payment with a long outstretched arm. It's great to be able to start doing a few things, but it really doesn't feel anything like normal. So, what about church? It's probably going to be a very long time before we can gather in the way that we did at the start of March, sitting next to each other, singing in worship, enjoying a coffee afterwards. That sort of normal is probably a long way off. So, what are the positive things about the way that we've been doing church that we need to think about as we begin to plan for the future? The online bit of church seems to have been a great hit, literally lots of hits, which means many more people than normal than would gather in our building on a Sunday morning have either been watching services live or else viewing on YouTube. Then hearing some examples from the world of education, university students, because the online world is the world they live in. And a lot of their experience from an education point of view is that online learning is both cheaper and better. Now, I realise that's not going to be so for every case, but there are lots who are saying that. There's much more opportunity to hear from experts in their fields across the world. But how does this work for the poor in the majority world? Well, again, availability is increased for everyone across the world because there's global connectivity. Someone with no chance of getting a bursary to Cambridge can attend online lectures. So in terms of church, is a necessity the mother of invention? If our core reason for being is to make disciples, has our online presence started to project us into new ways of doing that? The church in Korea went down this route a long time ago because the gospel was having such an effect there that the numbers of people could no longer be contained in the buildings, and they therefore had to either spend a load of money putting up new buildings or they became cyber church, and that's what they chose to do. In England, of course, many of our traditional church buildings have been slowly emptying over a long period of time. So has this epidemic been a game changer for the church in this country? The Great Commission in Matthew 28:19 says, "Go into the world and make disciples." So how do we use this moment to follow that call from Jesus? I have a challenge for this week, although I realise that it may take some of us a bit longer to think about it. But if you're on Facebook, how about just posting a short testimony on there, just something from your story in a few simple words, and maybe tag or dare a few others to do the same, and then pray that it will reach the people who are searching. This seems to be a real kairos moment for many institutions and certainly for the church. And I wonder what the new normal is really going to look like. Have a good day.